Saturday. Happy Saturday. You are tuned in to the American Cream Show. I am your host, Hyacinth Henderson, and Cream is a financial educational show where we show you, teach you, lead you, guide you on ways to redefine the American dream on your terms with Cream. And Cream stands for credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset. And to my left, I got my main man, Tavares. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing incredible, fantastic, excited for this new year. As Heisey just mentioned, I'm Tavares Jones, licensed stockbroker, licensed life insurance and annuity broker as well. How about yourself, Heisey? You got that good juice over there.
I know it's amazing. I don't know what's in here. I think I taste like lemon, ginger, maybe some pears. It's good. It's a great way to kickstart my day. Shout out to Antonio for holding us down with the juice,
My man.
the juices, and all the funny juice recipes. So yeah, but I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fantastic. It is, what is today? The 8th, the 9th?
Nice.
9, 10?
Yeah.
The 9th? 9 days into 2021. And it started off, we hit the ground running, right?
Yeah, it's really flying. Like, could you believe the first week in 2021 is over already?
I can't believe it.
I think that's symbolic that this year is going to move at that same pace. You know what I'm saying?
Rapidly.
And December 31st, 2021 will be here before we know it.
Yeah.
So it's important for you to stay focused and do what you got to do because you don't want to be, at the end of the year, you're like, man, I woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know what I'm saying? You got to do your thing now because it's moving and it ain't waiting on nobody.
Yeah.
What you going to do?
What you gonna do?
The first week already gone.
It's gone. And I've been reminding you, if you're tapped into my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, I've been reminding you that 2021 is the year of wealth. We have declared that, and we are decreeing 2021 to be the year of wealth. We're 9 days in. What have you done differently from the things that you've done last year? What have you done differently to really make 2021 your year of wealth? So for those of you who are new and just joining, thank you so much for being here. I am Hyacinth Henderson. I am a licensed stockbroker, a licensed investment advisor as well, and annuity and insurance broker. I've been doing this for the past 18th year. 2021 will be my 19th year. I am passionate about the people and I am passionate about mindset. So anytime you talk to me, I'm going to go into the mindset aspect and component because when your mind is set, your money will be set. So that's who I am. For our regular listeners who are part of the Cream Tribe, thank y'all so much for being here. If you're new here, thank you. While you're here, don't be afraid to hit that share button. We have a lot in store for you today. As you can see from the topic, cash is trash. Cash is trash. And I know you all may be looking and saying, what do you mean cash is trash? Sit tight, stick and stay. We're going to tell you what that is about. But while you're here, hit the share button. Y'all know how we do. We set goals. And by the time we get off of this broadcast, I want at least 22 shares. At least 22 shares. We can do that on our head. When you set goals, you say it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So 22 shares. Now, before we get into the cash is trash, I want us to briefly touch on the fiasco that took place
This week.
What
right?
was that? Was that Thursday or Wednesday? Today's Saturday, maybe Wednesday.
I think that was Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure exactly.
It was when, and I'm not going to get into the details of what took place and what was staged. But the only reason why I want to bring that up is because it's so important for us to redefine the American dream on our terms. You have to redefine the American dream on your terms. You cannot follow the masses. You'll be sitting there watching TV saying, oh my God, I can't believe it's happening. I can't believe, oh my God, they're storming the White House. That's because you don't know about crowdsondemand.com. Look that up, crowdsondemand.com. You can't believe that they were allowed to storm the whitest house in America and not shot on sight. Listen, you got to come out of the matrix, come out of that and realize you and I both know if you walk yourself up to the White House on any given day, just one of you, it's going to be some gunfire. It's going to be some helicopters. It's going to be something that's going to make the news. So the fact that we sat there and were social media, the news was flooded with hundreds of people storming it inside the people's house. And you're not sitting there saying, oh my God, what is this? Nah, that should have been, if you were asleep before, that should have woke you up. And I'm not talking about, oh my gosh, our country is going to hell in a handbasket kind of wake up. The, oh my gosh, they really think we stupid. That's the kind of wake up you should have had. And if you didn't have it then, think about what I'm saying now. Because now that the emotion is gone, because that day, whether it was Thursday or Wednesday, what day was that? Maybe Wednesday? It was Wednesday. You were high emotion and you're looking at social media, you're looking at the news, and you're like, oh, I can't believe it. Okay, logic is here now. Logic is going to tell you, ain't no way on God's green earth hundreds of people are going to be able to storm the whitest house in America and not shot down on sight. Okay, so now that we know it's staged, Think about what else is staged. Think about what else you don't know. Think about what else is an illusion that's been pulled over your eyes, and you have to wake up. That's why what we do. That's why we do what we do on the American Cream. That's why I'm not telling you that traditional stuff. When I tell you your 401k is foolishness, this is what I mean. When I tell you that you invested in a Roth IRA every year, 6,000 year in and year out, that ain't the way to the promised land. Now you see why. People are going to tell you what they want you to know. And understand that most people in our society, the government, is not going to tell you stuff to put you in a position to not need them anymore. Why would they do that? Why would they give you all the tools and all the information so that you don't need them anymore? That's not what they rocking with. It's systems in place. They got to be some poor. They got to be some ignorant. So now if you're tuned into the American Cream, I want you to wake up and realize what is going on. Okay, whoa. They got the funny pictures and the memes. Now kick some logic in and make 2021 the year of wealth and pick up what we're putting down. Because on the American Cream Show, we put down a lot of stuff to really and truly help elevate you, your community, so that you can really live life on your terms. You should be saying, listen, life is amazing. I look outside my window, the birds are chirping, the wind is blowing, the sun is shining. What you beefing for? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna step down. Let's get into the cash is trash.
No, we can on that same topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to be scared of scary movies, right?
Okay.
I used to be like extremely terrified to watch all these scary, Freddy versus Jason, etc. But I saw behind the scenes making of a scary movie.
Okay.
And I saw exactly how they make the sound effects and how they, how they have the wind going and all the little details that go behind making it look, sound, and, feel scary.
Yes.
Right? And in this thing called life, it's like we had a play.
Yes.
You follow me?
Yes.
And we sitting in the stands, we just watching the play. But it's so much that go on behind the curtain.
Yes.
You follow me? To make that play appear to what it is to the viewers. Mm-hmm. But that's when the American Cream Show comes in as the behind the scenes to show you, hey, this how they doing that. Mm-hmm. And instead of, feeling scared about doing this right here, feel this way and do this, do this. You know what I'm saying? So we are here to expose things and also give you instruction on how to live a better life and to not be fearful. You follow me? So
I love that you tied in that the scary movie reference.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It reminds me of a quote. Once you have seen behind the curtains of the stage set, you look at it differently.
Completely.
You like, oh, this is that. I thought it was this, but it looks so real. It feels so real. Oh my God. Nah, it ain't nothing but this.
That's it.
It ain't nothing but that. So keep that in mind, everything that you do, and then really dig deeper for yourself. Like I said, crowdsondemand.com. You didn't even know that website existed. You didn't know it existed. Look it up and be like, oh my gosh, people out here doing this. Yes. They are. So let's get into it. While you're here, we got 23 people on already. That's not counting the people who are watching the video, but then actually click in. So at least the 23 people that are on here should be sharing. By the time we get off, we should have a minimum of 22 shares. We can do that on our heads. This is how you set goals. You set intentions. You say it and it's done. We're going to have 22 shares at a minimum on here because we're going to share this information with everybody on our timelines. We're going to share this information with the people in our lives. We want them to know this information. Don't worry about if they like your post. They're looking at your post. And as long as they're looking, you have done your good deed and your good duty for the day. All right, T, what's up with this cash is trash? That's catchy.
Yeah. And before we get there, right, some other news happened this week. Real big.
Okay, let's get into it. Listen, 2021.
Yeah.
We rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Shout out to Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. He just surpassed Jeff Bezos. I think he's at $185 billion, his net worth.
Billion with the B.
Billion with the B.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos not far behind at 184. So, I mean, man, that's an amazing accomplishment. And for him to do it and be so comfortable in his own skin, he's not really, they love to hate on Elon. You know what I'm saying? He do what he want. He say what he want. And he move how he want. But at the same time, he have proven results. You follow me? For him to reach that top tier billionaire status, hey, man, shout out to him.
He like, get it in gear and let's go. I hear you talking. I hear all the chatter. I hear all this that's going on. And you said a very true statement when they said they love to hate Elon Musk.
Yeah.
They do. One day they love him. He is the definition of one day they love me, the next day they hate me. Both days I get paid. And so a lot of his wealth came from, of course, the Tesla. The Tesla stock shares have had exponential growth in 2020 and then already in 2021 as well. But the thing with that, as I was reading that article and looking at the numbers, I said, listen, For those of you all who are out there listening and saying, gosh, he's a multi-billionaire, he's the richest man in the world, and blah, 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 and all this stuff like that, understand that the Tesla shares did not do this every single day.
Not at all.
It did not do that. So don't sit there and kick yourself and say, oh my gosh, I missed the boat. I wanted to get in that 600% return in 2020 and I didn't. Oh gosh, woe is me. It's another one out there like that right now. It's available right now. But Tesla, they did this. They did the funky wah tootsie.
Whole lot of that.
They did the stanky leg. They went up, they went down, they cha-cha to the left and to the right. The stock did not just do this. The problem is when the stock does this, most people are happy. When the stock does this, people are like, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
You got to be able to weather the storm.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? You got to be able to stand the rain. I know a lot of y'all are, what's that group that had that song, Stand the Rain?
You so young, that's New Edition. Yeah.
New Edition. I know y'all New Edition fans, and it's deeper than just the music. You got to, treat your money like that. You got to be able to, stand in there when things get tough. And Tesla soared 743% in 2020 alone.
Wow. See?
Now, this is not a recommendation for you to go invest your money in Tesla, right? And in 2021 alone, it rose 16%. We ain't even 16 days in the month yet, or in the year yet, and it already rose 16%. So shout out to Tesla. Like I said, this is not a recommendation. The stock market may not be for you, so we got to put that out there for you guys.
What do I say? We are financial advisors. We are not your financial advisor. Consult your financial advisor for financial advice. Okay. But so even taking that patience, that lesson on patience and can you stand the rain? That's not just about the stock market. That's about anything in life.
Yeah, relationships,
everything,
money.
Exercise, diet, discipline, school, education, everything. You got to ask yourself, can I stand the rain? Can I stand the rain? Can I stand the pain? Can I hang in there like Tesla? If you don't have no Tesla right now, you said I'm kicking myself. Dang. What would Tesla do?
Yeah,
right.
Even 2020, a lot of people got laid off from their job due to COVID and stuff like that. But that probably was your down moment. But it's on you to think and reflect and say, hey, what can I do to make some money? You know what I'm saying? Do I just want to fill out another job application, or do I have a talent or a skill, or do I have some money to the side that I can invest and make money on my own, start my own company? You follow me? So.
It's
everything,
so many ways.
Yeah, everything will have its ups and downs. It's all about how you respond to it.
And the way that you respond to it is determined by your mindset.
Yeah.
It is determined by your mindset. I saw something the other day, and it was an example that said the person bought a car, and the car payment was $200 a month on the car payment. Because cash is trash, and we ain't buying cars cash, right? Especially when you know how to play the money game. But this goes back to mindset. So you buy a $200 car, you put some advertising on the sides of it, right? Different companies and things like that, the stickers or whatever. You charge people to have them advertise on your car. You got a advertiser for one side of the car and advertiser for the second side of the car. Then you go ahead and rent the car out to somebody who's like, listen, it's been a rough year for me. I need to make some extra money. I wish I could drive Uber. I wish I could do Uber Eats or Lyft, but I don't have a car. No problem. You can rent my car. You rent my car. You make your money driving Lyft or whatever it is, grocery stores. I ordered groceries from Walmart the other day. I was in hog heaven. I was stressed out. I was stressed. My mama needed groceries. I'm like, wait a minute, I can't do it all. Let me go on here. The lady dropped she didn't even ring the bell. It's a text message. Your groceries have been delivered. I said, my man, this what heaven feels like? I am in heaven right now. Get that stress off me. But somebody needed a car to do that. So there's so many delivery services right now. You rent your car to somebody who doesn't have a car, but they want to work. They want to hustle. Rent the car weekly, charge them a weekly fee. They're going to make their money weekly because they know that they have to pay you. So now between the advertisement, between the person you've rented the car out, you have now paid for the car note plus some. So you have turned what we traditionally like to call a liability into an asset. If you've heard me, if you've been listening to the American Cream for a long time, I mean, before we even got to Facebook, I've always said your primary residence is not an asset, it's a liability. I ain't said that in a minute. Let me remind you. Your primary residence is not an asset, it is a liability. Assets are things that make you money. I didn't say houses. I didn't say real estate are liabilities. I said your primary residence. If you have a primary residence that you just paying to live in and do the funky walk tootsie in, it is not an asset. It is a liability. How does that become an asset? You want to start renting rooms? Now you flipping the script. Now it becomes an asset. But all these things stem from your mindset. Because how we were taught is, wait a minute, you got somebody living in your house, you renting rooms out of your house, meanwhile you can't pay the mortgage. You cannot pay the mortgage. You're struggling. It's no reason why you should be struggling to pay your mortgage, borderline foreclosure, and you ain't rent out the rooms in your house. No reason why. No reason why. If you hear somebody that's in foreclosure, did you try to rent out your rooms? Did you try to rent out this backyard? How did you try to flip this liability and make it an asset? But that stems from a mindset shift. It stems from you silencing the noise and silencing what we've been told and sold, the American dream way, and saying, let me open it up because I got to get these coins. I have to get these coins in so that I can go forward. The only way 2021 is going to be your year of wealth is if you make some different changes. You can't do what you did in 2020 and make 2021 your year of wealth. It doesn't work that way.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
It just doesn't.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
Take it out of context.
So wake up. That M and cream is for mindset, and mindset is the most important. Now y'all see why I say if your mind is set, your money will be set. You got to unlearn and relearn. You have got to retrain your brain. You have got to stretch. You have got to say, okay, let me be open. Let me be open. My intention this year is to work with those who are ready. I've been saying I'm not convincing you, but now I'm putting it in your face. Anytime hey, I want to work with you, I want to consult, right there on your agreement, I work with those who are ready. If you're ready, let's get it. If you're not ready, it's not your time yet. You can tune into the YouTube. You can tune into the podcast. You can tune into all the free education that we provide. But if you're ready to really make 2021 your year of wealth, make a decision. And the first thing we're going to work on is your mindset. That's the first thing. All right, let's get into this cash is trash.
Yeah, cash is trash right now. A lot of times we so focused on our income, right? Our income. And one thing I love about my culture, one thing I love about being black is we going to get us some money. By all means, you know, we no matter what way, shape, or form, we going to get us some money, right? However, that's only one step to the wealth equation. Once we get the money, sometimes we kind of just hold on to it, you know, put it in under the bed, in the mattress, stuff it into the bank, buy liabilities, as Heisey was just talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the full equation to wealth. You know what I'm saying? There's other steps that you want to, once you take that first step to make the money, you want to continue making those steps on your way to wealth, on your wealth journey. You know what I'm saying? And with this new year, right? A lot of times we talk about, you know, New Year's resolutions and New Year's goals, but a new year brings also new inflation, right? Because when I say inflation, meaning the purchasing power of the dollar, it reduces with time, right? So we just passed 1 year, so now we're into another year. So all the cash that you acquired over the time, over last year and that you're getting this year, the value of it is going to decrease throughout the year. So what you want to do is, if you're just thinking about, man, I got this money, I'm good, you want to think about how can I plug this money in places? How can I continue, you know, on this equation to amass wealth, right? And in 2020, 21% of all money that's in circulation in 2020 alone, it was printed. 21% of that money was printed in 2020.
Okay.
So what they're saying is that's a whole lot of money that's being printed, and the more money that's printed, the higher the inflation is on that money, right? So
it's a cost to it.
Yes, it's a cost.
And to really think about inflation and grasp inflation, you may be renting now, you may have rented before. Every year they going up on your rent.
Yes.
Period, point blank, P.S. the end.
Yeah.
That's inflation. It's just, this is what has to happen. Right. Why they going up on my rent? That's the way it goes. That's just the way the prices consistently go up. That's how we move the needle forward. So what Tavares is saying is, if you holding on to money, because like he said, our people, we going to get us some money. And we also have war chests. We got the war chests in the closet, wherever, safe in the basement, whatever your thing is. But you have to understand that if that money is not working for you, it is losing its purchasing power because the cost of things are consistently going up. Prices are going to rise. They have to. And so if your prices are rising, we want to make sure your money is rising as well. How do you do that? Because it's not good enough to just chase money. It's not good enough to just make you some money. You keep yourself on a hamster wheel of constantly and consistently having to go out and get some more money and get some more money and get some more money. And that cannot be the only way. We want you to go out and get some more money, but as you're getting money here, we want you to start another hamster wheel over here. Put some of that money over there. So that money can be getting money for you, getting money for you, getting money while you're getting money, and then you funneling it out into other places to get more money. So when we say that cash is trash, Cash is not the end all, the be all.
Right.
Cash is not the goal. That's
Right.
just the starting point.
Right.
It's just you're not finished when you get cash.
Right. So once you get that cash, now we definitely not knocking cash. It's just the first step. You follow me? So you want to get out and you want to make as much as possible. But after you make that money, you want to plug it in places that's going to start where you earning money on top of your money, where your money start to work for you, where you start to make money, while you're doing other things. You can be traveling and still making money. You can be sleeping and still making money. You can be meditating and still making money. So you want to definitely you need cash, but that's not the end result. Jay-Z said, y'all on the gram holding money to your ear, there's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here, right? And what he's saying is we want to take that and, buy some real estate, or you can, as Heisey was just mentioning, you can get a small car note and flip that. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody rent it out. Let somebody advertise on it. If you purchase, Mr. Henderson and Miss Linda, they had a show this morning about real estate. So as you make that cash, as that cash comes in, you want to stack it up, get your credit together, and then purchase you some real estate. And you can flip real estate 1,000 ways. You know what I'm saying? You can get really creative with that. You can do the traditional way with a standard rental property where you got Section 8 tenant in there, or you got a regular middle-class family in that, and they just paying you on a monthly basis. You can also flip your real estate and do Airbnb, right? With Airbnb, sometimes you can quadruple your mortgage amount, you know what I'm saying, by renting to people on a daily basis, kind of like you got a small hotel going on. You got assisted living facilities of different sorts, where you got stocks you can even do.
You can flip anything.
We got. So it's so many different ways that you can do it. And we are a finance show, right? The American Cream Show. And notice the C in cream doesn't stand for cash. It's for credit. It's for credit. And it's a reason behind that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we zoom in our focus on the money. And our focus should be in other areas. Like I say, I would say divide that focus in other areas. You know what I'm saying? Okay, after I get the money, what's next?
Well, you have to look at it for what it is. It's a tool,
right?
So if you have a vision that you want to build your son a clubhouse, right? And your son has always wanted a clubhouse or a tree house or something that they've always wanted. You have to build that for them. And you go and you buy the hammer. You aren't worshiping the hammer. You aren't so glad, oh my God, son. All right, Tito, we got this clubhouse because I got this hammer and the hammer is lit. We're going to go where we need to go with this hammer. And you put the hammer on a pedestal. And you just sit the hammer right there and you look back an hour later, a month, a week later, and Tito's like, Daddy, where's my clubhouse? You ain't built nothing yet because all you have is the hammer that you were so excited to get and you put it there. Not thinking about the hammer being a tool. You have to take the hammer with some other stuff to actually build something. That's the way you have to look at money as well. Money is the same thing. It is a tool. You need it. You need to tap into it, but when you get it, it's not to like be put up on a mantle like, oh my gosh, I got so much money over here. It's like, no, what are you building with that money? What doors are you unlocking with that money? What relationships are you establishing with that money? Yes, we establish relationships with money. What do you think politics is all about? What do you think it's about? What are you doing with money? Who are you helping with money? So when you think about saying cash is trash, because we need to wake y'all up and understand that that's not the goal. Think about everything that you do, anything that you consume, anything that you walk into, any store that you walk into, you have an option. You have an option to pick up something for personal use, or you have an option to pick it up to flip it. You can go into Michael's and say, okay, I want to get something for myself because I've always wanted this certain craft. Or you can walk into Michael's and say, you know what, I've always wanted this craft and I'm good at making this craft, but I'm going to make it, I'm going to get me an Etsy shop, ETSY, and sell it. It's all about the mindset and where you do it. So when we say cash is trash, we don't want you hoarding the money. We don't want you teaching your children to hoard the money. We want you to teach them that it is a tool, and a hammer is not worth anything unless it is used. Money is not worth anything unless it is used. If you have a hammer and it just sits in the tool shed and you never use it, it's just going to sit there. It's going to be a hammer. You can't tell people how you've the world's best carpenter when you've never used your tools. You can't tell people how you have been a good steward over your finance and over your money if you're hoarding it by stacking everything in the basement. So that's what we mean when we say cash is trash. So as you're listening to us, I really want you to be thinking your wheel should be spinning. What can I monetize? I talk to y'all about that on the American Cream podcast all the time. You have to monetize your talents. You have to monetize your gifts. What are you flipping? When Tavares pointed out, and I hope y'all got that as well, that the C in cream does not stand for cash, it stands for credit, because I wanted to bring awareness to credit and how powerful it is. Credit is not here for you to brag about your 700 credit score. That's why I never post what my credit is. Yeah, see, I never, all the stuff people brag about, I don't post about that. I don't post about my kids' grades and this and that. Because why? That means nothing. Your kids could be making straight A's and get out of high school and get out of college and be sleeping on your couch. So you have to look deeper than that. So when you think about credit, it is not about the credit score. It is the use of credit. It is about you tapping into other people's money. It is about realizing that credit grants you access. It grants you access. Why should I have to use all of mine? That's what the big dogs do. We build personal credit and we build business credit. And when we build business credit, and I had a call with somebody yesterday, if you're listening to this, I meant to talk to you about that, but we're going to follow up on that. If you have a business and you're using your personal credit instead of building your business credit, there is a gap. There is a disconnect. When you build business credit, you do not use your personal social security number. Maybe we'll do a show on that.
Yeah.
We'll do a show on that because I want to stick to cash is trash today, but just really opening your mind and saying, listen, we don't want to have to pay cash for everything, because when you pay cash for everything, you start back at zero. You start back at zero. It's like you're like, all right, I done hustled, did what I needed to do to get these bands, and now I'm back at zero because I had to go buy this. Every day you start at zero. Like, come on, what are we doing? How are we gonna make 2021 a year of wealth?
Yeah, and the purpose of having a dope credit score is not for you to hold on to it. You don't want to treat it like cash. You don't hold on to it. You don't want to die with a dope credit score. You don't want to work this hard, pay all your bills on time, overpay your credit cards and all that stuff, and get this dope credit score and just die with it. You want to use that dope credit score to leverage against it. You know what I'm saying? To put more money in your pocket, like Heisey was just saying. It's just like buying a mortgage and you struggling to make your mortgage payment every month. You're not making money. That's a liability. So you don't want your dope credit score to just be a dead asset where it's not benefiting you. You know what I'm saying? You want to look at that credit score and say, okay, well, how can I use that to make more money on a monthly basis? How can I use my dope credit score to increase my net worth? So you want to flip it and use it that way. You want to think about it on those terms. I know grandma taught you. Now you might have a grandma that got a dope credit score, you know what I'm saying? And she ain't putting your name, or she ain't signing for no car for you or no house. She ain't co-signing on nothing. Right? And a lot of times grandma passed that mentality down about credit. You follow me? But truth be told, we can't do everything grandma did. Love you, grandma, but we can't. It's too much information out here at our fingertips that grandma didn't have. So it's important for us to, use the wisdom from grandma, but at the same time, we got to mix that with the information that's at our fingertips and create a better situation for ourselves and to create a better lineage for our family tree. You know what I'm saying? So don't just be so gun-ho on what grandma tell you. Love you.
Yeah, I mean, she grew up in a different time.
Yeah, she
did the best that she could for what she had.
Yeah,
your best is different from Granny's best.
Yeah.
So when Granny tells you leave them people credit alone, don't get you no credit card. She's just telling you what she experienced, because in her time she could barely get a credit card. Yeah. And when it was opened up so that she could get a credit card, then she was like, okay, I can't owe them. We've changed. Stuff has shifted. So you have to realize who you're taking your advice from. Who are you taking your advice and your educational information from? And one of the key things that I always like to tell people is when people are telling you stuff, recognize if they're telling you stuff or sharing information from a place of abundance or scarcity. Yeah. That's deep. Because if they're giving you advice from a place of scarcity, it sounds like fear. It sounds like fear. It sounds like don't do this, don't do that. It sounds a whole lot of playing small. That's scarcity. When people give you advice and they're encouraging you, yes, you can do that. Yes, explore this. Yes, that's a great idea. Figure it out. That's abundance. So if you take scarcity advice from people if you take advice that's rooted in scarcity, you're going to have a scarcity results. If you take advice that's rooted in abundance, you're going to have an abundant result. Understand that you got to train your ear. Remember I said they hiring people, they putting on a show on TV. Like, you got to look beyond that. You have to look beyond that with the advice that people are giving you. What are they really saying? What are they really saying? What are they asking me to do? And do I believe that I can do it? And if I don't believe that I can do it, am I willing to get around somebody or align with someone who is going to show me and help me understand that I really can do it? That's where that mindset work comes in. That's where that accountability and coaching and consulting comes in. That's where that comes in. You have to pay somebody. You got to pay the cost to get to the next level. There's some things that we could do for free without paying, and nothing really is for free, right? Because there's always a trade-off. While you're learning how to do something, you are sacrificing time that could be used to do something else.
Right.
So there's things that you can do where you're not exchanging a monetary value, but you're going to get to the point that if you want to go next to the next level, if you want to go higher, you're going to have to cut the check. And when you cut the check, realize that it's an investment.
And also realize that cash is trash. So you putting that money towards something that's going to better your situation, better your mindset, because it's a difference between darkness and light. You know what I'm saying? If you turn your light off in a room and you turn your light on in a room, it's a difference. And the mindset works the exact same way. If you full of negative thinking, that's just like being in a room with the lights off. But if you switch that to a more abundant thinking, a more like, okay, the world is at my fingertips. You know, Tony Montana had the saying, what he said, the world is yours, something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, man, it's you want to think more so in abundance, and like it's there. Another thing that you could do with your cash is start a business. Earlier in the show, we spoke about Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and how companies are going up, upwards of 700% in a year. So they did that by investing in something, investing in a dream, investing in a talent that they have, not by hoarding money at the bank. If you save every dollar you make, you ain't gonna get rich that way. And we all got expenses. You know what I'm saying? We all got to pay mortgage. We all got to pay rent. We all got to pay FPL, etc. If you save every dollar you have, it's you compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. You know what I'm saying? So you want to plug your money in some type of place where you can make money off of your money and let it grow and continue to grow and flourish that way. You can have I don't care how great your savings habits are, but it ain't gonna take you to the next level.
No, it's not. When you talk about bills, it reminds me of that Kanye West line, one of my favorite rappers of all time. Don't really care what your opinion is of Kanye. I love him for life. So he says, don't talk to me about that bill-ish. Everybody got them that ain't children. And so you're right, like, oh, I got a bill to pay. I do too. We all have bills to pay. So when you look at that, it's just, okay, that's just where I am. I got to pay these bills. Okay, it doesn't, I'm not going to use that as a crutch. Then you got to figure out how are you going to go out there and get it. Shout out to Tiffany, just dropped in. That's a great high school friend of mine, and next to her name it says sharer. That means she has been sharing. She has shared consistently. So I want to use that as a reminder for all of you who are out there on this live today. Just hit that share button. It doesn't cost you a thing. We're giving you so much in value that if you take this information and run with it, that you can literally change your life. So just hit the share button. I want to see sharer by everybody's name who is on here today. Starting a business. Y'all know that's one of the most beautiful things that I love to tell people to do. I notice I didn't say one of the easiest things.
Yeah.
I said beautiful because it buys you freedom. It buys you freedom from bondage. It buys you freedom from continuing the cycle. It buys your children freedom. If you start a business, work that business, give it 100%, you set your children up. Now you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, who's going to hire my kid? My kid is not paying attention in school, X, Y, and Z. Now you have started something for them. So here's my spiel on business, because I know I can hear people out there saying everybody shouldn't own a business. You're right. Not everybody should own a business. I do believe that we are our entrepreneurs. I know that the Creator created us to create. Not all of us are going to be entrepreneurs in this season in our life, right? And I understand that. But for those of you who are, those of you who've been receiving that nudge and that pull and things like that, start. How do you start? Start. If you need some help, call us. But other than that, start. I spoke to my cousin yesterday. She says, I want to be a speaker. Speak. People say, I want to be a writer. Write. You want to be a speaker. You want to be a writer. Write. Speak. Right. What are you doing? We have social media now. Show me what you have done consistently with what you have, and then we'll unlock the doors to the next level. We cannot unlock doors to the next level if you have not worked what you already have. It just does not work that way. The staircase isn't going to appear until you actually get your foot on the steps. So when I say start a business, you got to think about, no, it's not going to be easy, but I got to work it. And you may look at these other businesses and they may have hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. And you might be like, oh my gosh, all I have is one follower, or nobody's liking my post. Stay consistent. I'm going to tell you right now, none of my social media platforms have these thousands of followers. And it's intentional because I don't really care. They call me. Y'all call me. So I'm just like, I don't have to beg for followers, and I understand the difference between a social media follower and a real life supporter. And the only reason I'm sharing that is because sometimes people get discouraged. But you can have one follower or one like on whatever it is that you're selling. If you're in a product-based business, you can have one like and 2 people DM you and say, I want to buy this. And there you have made 2 sales. So I don't want you to get caught up in the likes. When I say that, I really mean that. Don't get caught up in the likes. They're looking. So start your business, figure out how to work it. No, you don't know everything right now, but there are so many people who do know. And you can invest in yourself, invest in your business, and then write it off as a business expense. Because if cash is trash, what are we going to do with it? It's not trash where we're literally throwing it in the trash, but we're putting it into other piles that are going to make us some money. And investing in yourself and investing in your business is one of those ways.
Yep. I was just going to touch on the tax benefits of entrepreneurship,
Talk
right?
about it.
With the potential tax benefits of entrepreneurship. Not sure if Larissa is doing y'all taxes out there. If not, y'all holler at her. She can get y'all right. But with entrepreneurship, it allows you to save more of those tax liabilities, right? And then once you save, because it's not about how much you make, but more so about how much you keep, right? So you're keeping this money, and then now you can also plug this money into another asset. I think you just mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a business, start the business, and then, use tax benefits to purchase you a property of some sort. Now you got this property working for you along with your business, and then you just keep that going and keep that piling up. You know what I'm saying? You want to create a cycle of that and have multiple revenue streams, and that's what wealth is about.
So here it is, a simple way to understanding the tax benefits associated with being a business owner. And this is blanket information. Your situation is going to be personal. You have to consult your tax specialist, your tax advisor, whether that is Larissa from Abundant Tax Returns, who's going to prepare your taxes and also create a strategy, whether that is us at the Henderson Financial Group, where we do tax planning. You have to consult for your individual situation. But really, the difference is when you own a business, when you taxes by being a business owner says, I'm gonna live, I'm gonna have my businesses, I'm gonna do everything I need to do, I'm gonna pay my rent, my mortgage, whatever the case may be, and then I'm going to pay taxes on what's left. It's different. You bring in the income, the revenue. You bring in the revenue. You live your life. You run the business. You pay down all of your expenses. And then you tell the government, this is what's left. Y'all can get y'all taxes off of this because I done lived my best life. I've grown my business. I've invested in myself and my businesses and my kids. I've done all of that. This is what I got left. Sorry. Right? That's when you're a business owner. When you are not a business owner, the government says, listen, we get our taxes first. I'm going to get me first. And after we get our taxes, I know you got other stuff to pay, but that really ain't my problem. So you now have to live off of what's left. So that's the difference when you think about the way businesses and business owners pay taxes versus the way W-2 wage earners pay taxes. It's a big difference, So when you think about that, and I don't want you to think business, oh my gosh, I'm not Walmart, I'm not Target, or whatever the case may be. You can start a business based on your talents and the products that you sell and go and get incorporated down to the state of Florida. That's somebiz.org. If you're in the state of Florida, figure out which business entity you need, incorporate for under $200 and then get an EIN number. And now you're a business. And so there are some other things that need to come in place, but I don't want you to be scared that it looks so big. And I'm specifically talking to the people who you've had that idea. That idea has been nudging you. It has been nudging you and nudging you and nudging you. And you're saying, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. I'm talking to you. And I'm also talking to those people who do something good, but aren't incorporated. You haven't incorporated. And you're like, gosh, I haven't become a legit business. You're still a front porch business. I like to call it a front porch business. When I was younger, back in the days, I used to get my hair done on the front porch, right? You're still a front porch business, and you think that you are helping yourself, but you're really hurting yourself. Because unless you are in a completely cash business and you keeping that cash under your mattress, which you just told you cash is trash, which you're hurting yourself in the future, in the long run, the government is going to know. How? Because nowadays we got Cash App. We have PayPal. We have all these things. And when the IRS comes to audit you, they say, we keep seeing these Cash Apps, these PayPals, these this and this. And we've looked at your social media and we know you do this and this. This is business income. This is income. They're not going to say business income because you don't have a business. They're going to say this is income. And you're like, no, it's income. And it's your burden to prove that it's not income. So a lot of times people, and especially in the COVID times, we're dealing with digital currency now. We're exchanging money digitally. So when that happens, it doesn't matter if you're not incorporated, they still gonna count it as income anyway. So you may as well do yourself a favor by getting legit. I'm gonna release an ebook on that. I released it a few years ago. I'm gonna bring it back. Get legit. You may as well do that, because now you get to say, I'm going to pay all my expenses. I'm going to pay for all the supplies I need for my business, to bake this cake, to mow these lawns, whatever it is that you're doing. I'm paying for it out of my business account as a business expense. And then I'm telling them what's left. So really in 2021, it doesn't benefit you to not have a legitimate business. If you have a side hustle, you might as well go ahead and legitimize that. And then if you're on the fence and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I really can, you can. That idea won't go away, because it's for you. So I want you to think about that and really take that in and say, okay, what am I doing? I'm saying that 2021 is going to be my year of wealth. Let me just do it. Where are you with your 2021 goals? Where are you with them? We're 9 days in. We're 9 days in. You should already have made calls. You should have your vision board, your workbook, your worksheet. You should be actively working on your goals every single day.
And another piece on that, on the porch business, right? A lot of times, well, we speak a lot about real estate, right? And when you have that porch business, a lot of times you're not filing taxes if you're not incorporated. But to buy real estate or to use leverage using real estate, you have to have tax returns. You know, and a lot of people don't know that. You need at least 2 years of tax returns. So of course, you want to save your money and get your credit together, but you don't want to use all your money to purchase your real estate. No, you want to be able to spread that money that you have saved amongst several different properties, as many properties as possible. And you do that by using leverage, by getting a mortgage on the properties. And you can't get a mortgage without tax returns. So that's why you want to incorporate your business, and that's why you want to pay taxes, and also Social Security. I know a lot of millennials don't think about Social Security and, you know, the long haul, but when you file your taxes, you're setting up a Social Security savings for yourself. You follow me? So that's really a really important piece when it comes to getting legit, when it comes to your business, you know.
It's funny that you mentioned Social Security, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's not going to be around. I wonder if it's going to be around. What do you think? And the thing is, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So you paying into it and you look up and now you 80 or how, 62, 65, whatever your year is. Oh, your full retirement age, right? It depends on your year. I think it may be like 66 for most people now, depending on your birthday. But you're 66 and Social Security system's still around and you pay $0 into the system. You pay $0 into the system. And if you're saying, well, I got my cash and it's stashed under the mattress, well, it whatever you thought it was is now worth probably half of that, because it didn't keep up with the cost of inflation. Because it was not working for you, making your money work for you. So when you think about businesses and being legit and that mindset, if the roster doesn't get you, the renter will. Let me break that down again. Being in the cash business, taking cash, I'm only taking cash and I'm putting it under the mattress. Okay, but you're not growing it. And it's going to be hard for you to integrate that into the legal system, right? And then when it comes time for you to buy real estate, what you going to do? You don't have any income. Where's your income? And then speaking of that, that goes to the people. Let me tell y'all something. If I see one more person come in here, I'm slapping all y'all accountants, right? One more person come in here where the accountant has had you write off all your income. You should not be writing off all your income if you are in the accumulation stage. Accumulation means if you buying stuff, if you want assets, if you're listening to Cream, if you want to grow something, if you want to get this, and this, and your accountant says, oh, I'm going to write it down so you owe $0, slap them.
Well, tell them what that means, though, when you write off all of your...
You write off all of your income, so now it looks like you didn't make no money.
You make no money.
And why do we do that? You do that because you don't want to pay taxes. But you got to know what season you're in. So if we just told you that we're using cash to acquire more assets and credit to acquire more assets, you got to show some income. Yes, you're going to have to pay taxes, but that's small change. You pay taxes, pay the toll, and get your behind on the highway to wealth. Pay the toll, and then you fly down the highway to 2021 being a year of wealth. You're saying, I don't want to pay the toll. I don't want to pay taxes, and we all flying to wealth, but you sitting outside the freeway because you have an accountant who is putting you, all your income and you pay $0 taxes. Why?
So what Heisey's saying is, if when you go apply for a mortgage, right, or because you listen to American Cream, they tell you to go get real estate. You apply for the mortgage, and they ask you for your credit, you got that. They ask you for this down payment, you got that. But they say your tax returns, you're like, okay, I got the tax returns, but your tax returns show that you ain't made no money. How are they going to give you a
20,000, 10,000 for the year.
How they going to give you a mortgage? How they going? Why would you trust yourself with a mortgage? Would you sell yourself out? Would you give yourself a loan for a house if you showing year after year that you ain't made no money? You know,
No.
them people don't want to hear about, oh, my accountant is, they looked out for me. They don't want to hear that. They gonna go off of what's on black and white.
And that's small potato. So you think your accountant is looking out for you in that moment. You like, bet that up. Oh my God, I appreciate that. Thank you. But then when it comes time for you to qualify for something, you like, wait a minute. That's the fake out again. That's the foolishness we just seen on TV. It's the fake out. It's the fake out. I thought it was this, but it's really that. And it really doesn't help me get to where I got to get. So my business owners, you gotta come on. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. But if you let me tell you like this. If you focused on not paying $7,000 or whatever it is, depending on your income, if you focus on not paying taxes, you are focusing on the wrong things. That's a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
If you're focused on how can I write off all my income, I want to break this thing all the way down to zero so that I don't have to pay taxes. That's a scarcity mindset. You're going to stay stuck right there. If you're focused on abundance, you're going to say, listen, I'm going to cut this little check. Here go this little funky check, IRS. I'm going to give you a little money, right? Because I know that I'm getting ready to make some more.
Yeah.
I'm paying a toll. When I get on the freeway, I'm doing 100 miles an hour. Well, I'm going to pay the taxes. Then I'm opening it up. 2021 is the year of wealth. So you got to ask yourself, see why that mindset work is so important? Where are you? What are you doing? You cannot have your cake and eat it too in certain circumstances. You just cannot. You got to figure out which one. And the term have your cake and eat it too, it means you want to have the cake right here. You want the cake to be right in front of your face, but then you want to eat it as well. You got to pick one. You got to pick one. So to recap, this is the American Cream Show, a financial educational show where we show you, teach you, lead you, guide you on ways to redefine the American dream. And it's with Cream, credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset, with mindset being the most important. You cannot pick up what we're putting down if your mindset is not in check. While you're here, hit that share button. We got 30 people on right now. We should at least have 22 shares. By the time we hit the 10:15 mark, that is in 9 minutes, we should have at least 22 shares. We've been talking about cash. We've been talking about not believing the hype. We've been talking about everything this morning, right?
Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
We've been talking about even accounting. You know, we gave y'all some additional jewels. And to go back on that entrepreneurship button that we were just speaking on, right? Now, when you're an entrepreneur and your business is doing really well and this money coming in, remember, cash is trash. And also, you got to remember that you don't have an employer that's taking out from your pay to save for you for later down the line. So what you want to do is you want to plug that money into an IUL. You know, that's a good way to save for your long-term savings. As the money's coming in, you can plug in on a monthly basis. You can set up your own retirement savings, right? And when I say IUL, I mean an index universal life. It's a great way to lock in stock market gains. But when the stock market goes up or when the stock market goes down, your account stays the same. You don't lose anything, right? So that's a good way to earn compound interest on your money year after year after year, right? And it's also it can be a good investment for people that's not into the roller coaster of the stock market. You know, so like we spoke about Tesla earlier today. Tesla, you know, had an awesome return at the end of the year, but during the year there was some up and down. There was some turbulence, right? And if you can't stomach that turbulence, if you can't stomach that up and down, then the IUL it could be a good investment for you, especially, like I say, for entrepreneurs that don't have anybody that's, you know, saving their money for them. You have to not only run your business, but you also have to run your life as well. What I mean by run your life, you have to think about life after entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? And that's really, really, really important. Just as entertainers have to think about life after, you know, the sitcom that they're on. You know what I'm saying? We see, and it's crazy because we as regular people, let's say a sitcom like Family Matters or something like that, we may see somebody from that show working at Publix nowadays. You know what I'm saying? That person right there, they didn't do the best planning. And some people may laugh and poke fun at that person, but guess what? You as the entrepreneur, you could be just like that person. You know what I'm saying? You probably wasn't on the TV show, but your business was doing all good in from 2020 to 2025, and now it's time for you to, you know, retire. And now you you ate all your nuts,
Mm-hmm.
and now you got to go to Walmart, as a Walmart greeter, and you don't want that. You don't want
You don't
that.
want
So
to do that.
yeah, so we didn't get a number, huh?
Mm-hmm.
305-825-1444. We can help you out with that IUL or your whole circumstance, real estate. We can even help you with mindset. That's Heisey. That's her corner, and that's what she specializes in, and she's really good at that. She can help you, reshape your mindset and get yourself together. But you got to be ready, because she like a pit bull and she will bite you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
It's for your greater good,
it,
though.
it it is.
It's for your greater good. Like, if you believe in yourself a little bit, I believe in you a lot of bit. And then by the time we get together with this passion and this energy, we going places. We are going past where we thought we were going. One thing I want to say about cash: you do need a cash reserve. It's important, but whether it's business or personal, 6 months of expenses. 6 months of expenses. I'm a firm believer in having that emergency fund. You need to be able to touch 6 months of your expenses. As a business owner, we're going to invest, and we're also going to create reserves. Why? Because there are seasons. And as a new business owner, you may not know your seasons yet. You're just learning. But as you're growing your business, you're going to pay attention to the trends and the cycles and the seasons. And we want you to have some cash reserves available so that when the season hits where business may be a little slower than usual, you're not closing up shop. You can still function. You can still operate. You can still do your marketing. You can still keep the lights on. You can still do whatever you need to do. So as we're saying that cash is trash, you still need to have a cash reserve. That is very, very important. We need to have a cash reserve, and then we need to invest back in ourselves and invest in our business and things like that. All right. I think we're almost at time. James T. and Mr. Henderson are going to be on for Understanding Money Part 2 at about 10:30. I believe they have a special guest as well. So I have to make sure we end on time, because I'm going to have to send the link and get the special guests up together. So shout out to you, James T. You should be proud of me for ending early today. Anything else you want to add? You want to run down the list of the guests we have on here today?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Let's do it.
So we got Lawrence Moore. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
Miss Sylvain. Hey, Miss Sylvain. We got Tiffany. What's we said?
Christy. That's
Tiffany
not
Christie.
yeah.
We got Erica Owens. Annie Edwards. Hey, Miss Edwards. We got Jarvis Stokes, always checking in on all the shows. Doretha Hall, always
Happy
checking
belated
in.
birthday. Your birthday was yesterday, right?
Whose birthday?
Doretha Hall, yes.
Oh, hey, Miss Hall, happy belated birthday to you. We got June always checking in. Mr. Kegler's always checking in. Nights Young, he's been on a few shows. Fifi Jean, that's a new name.
Yeah, she's one of
Fifi
my
Jean.
social media friends.
Oh.
But she's thank you for tuning in today and
appreciate
commenting.
you coming through. Appreciate you coming through. Jarvis again. We got Lily Mae Rowe Vickers. Hey, Miss Vickers. Tracy Tompkins. Who else we got? Diana George. Hey, Miss George. Miss Redhead. Larissa.
Oh,
the
I was
GOAT.
on here. You were on here.
Larissa. We got Catrice Hunt. We got, who else we got?
Oh, Miss Dorothy Henderson. Hey. That's Diana's mom.
Miss Ward, and Brenda Brown.
Brenda Brown.
Actually.
Thank y'all so much for being here today. Make sure you stay locked in for the Understanding Money Part 2 show. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the American Cream podcast on all podcasting platforms. On Wednesdays, I release different content. So I do stream some of the social media's content over there as well. But every single Wednesday, I release 20-minute episodes, and those 20-minute episodes are different than the content that you're hearing here. So tune in to the American Cream. Also, next Saturday is my first day taking my Harvard business course. So I will not be here.
Okay.
So we're going to have to pre-record. It's a 6-week course. So we're going to pre-record. If there is a topic that you would like to hear in series format, drop it in the comments and we'll take that into consideration. So for the next 6 Saturdays, it will be pre-recorded. And if there's something that you would like us to touch on, drop it in the comments. Maybe we'll make a series out of it so that you can kick off your 2021. And if you aren't following me, my business pages, that's the American Cream or Hyacinth Henderson, do so. On my personal Instagram, if you have Instagram, Hyacinth Henderson, I'm going to start in the morning hopping in and going live. I talk a lot about being intentional, setting intentions, and making 2021 the year of wealth. I'm going to take you on the journey through my gratitude morning exercise. So that's going to be on live on my Instagram under Hyacinth, like the flower. It's Hyacinth Henderson. And I just may pop in the mornings and do some live. We may do some affirmations, some scripting, and things like that. So make sure you're following me there and have the notifications on. And stay tuned for Mr. Henderson and James T up next for the Understanding Money Part 2 show. If you need some one-on-one help, guidance, and advice, that's 305-825-1444. Until next time, stay safe and stay sane. Peace.